What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we are working on the 1 Series at home. I've actually done a few things that I haven't filmed, but I'll show you guys where we are at right now with the car. We're going to be converting the rest of the interior over to black. This is a long time coming, and for a while I was searching for a headliner, like a factory black headliner, to just buy and swap into the car. They are extremely expensive, and of course shipping that is not going to be cheap because it's so large. A few weeks ago, I filmed one of my buddies' 1M clones. His name was Edwin, and in his interior, he actually painted the headliner and all of the pillars black, and it turned out really good. So I decided I'm gonna go that route, and we're gonna lead you guys through the process and show you me doing it. If you guys are just now joining the channel, this is my BMW 135. It is a 2009, and I have converted this car to a 1M clone, which we actually now have in stock and ready to ship if you guys are interested in going that route. But this car is obviously jet black, and it used to have a complete red interior, and I've been slowly transitioning over to the black. I just prefer the black. I know that that is not going to be a popular preference, but I think it just suits this build better. So I actually met up with a buddy of mine and swapped over all of the door cards over to black, and I gave him my red ones. And now I am just working out the rest of the interior. So the entire headliner, everything else inside of here is still the light gray. You'll notice that I do not have my A pillars on right now, and that's because I've actually already painted them this morning. So I wanted to give this a bit of a test run to see how it would turn out, and I must say I am very, very happy with the way that this is turning out. It looks factory OEM black. The A pillars in this car are the same material as the headliner, so it's like a rougher fabric. Very, very easy to paint. I will say though, I'm using quite a bit of paint so far, so I almost used a full can on just these two A pillars, but I really wanted to make sure that I had complete coverage all over these pillars so you could never see any of the gray. So I really went in deep, even painted some of the back here just to make sure that, you know, it is going to tuck, but I don't want any of the gray to be shown. So far I'm really happy with it, and that's why I decided to pick up the camera and kind of show you guys the process. If we go inside, I can give you guys a quick rundown on how to remove the A pillars themselves. So you're actually going to see the airbag right here. Pillar lays right across here. There's going to be a little tab that says airbag on it. You're just going to pop this off with a trim tool, comes right out, and then you are going to have one T20 bolt right behind that little airbag tag. Pull out that T20, and then you can take your trim tool and just pop it out, and there's two little hooks on this side, and you just fish it out like that. The whole piece comes right out. Very, very easy. Should only take you a couple of seconds, and then really it's just a matter of cleaning them and painting them. So this is the actual paint that I'm using for everything. It is vinyl and fabric duplicolor. The finish is just an OEM matte black, and it seems to be working out really well. I am a bit concerned. I bought 6 bottles total, and I don't know if it's going to be enough to cover everything, but I think what I'm going to do is pull out all of the pillars and then pull out the entire headliner, and we're just going to start painting the headliner first so I know for sure I have enough paint to finish that, and if I run out I can just run to the store and grab more to finish the pillars. These remaining pillars in the car are actually a plastic. They're not a fabric material like the headliner or the A pillar, so I don't know if that paint is going to work on these. We're going to try and see how it turns out. If worst comes to worst, I will just end up buying these 2 rear pillars in black rather than trying to paint them. I just don't know how durable that's going to be. It's not like you're really using these or hitting these often, but I want to make sure that it turns out good. But still, that is going to be saving us a ton of money because we're not actually buying the entire headliner in black. I really think that this is going to be adequate. I was a bit worried at first doing it, but now that I've seen the black paint on the pillar themselves, I think this is going to be totally sufficient and is going to save you a ton of money versus trying to buy all these pieces in black. They're just really expensive. I will say when you are pulling these pillars out, be careful because these tabs right here are super fragile. I actually broke them on my other ones. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. There is still force keeping these in there. This sort of tucks in behind the dash, but these are just old and a bit dry rotted, so just be very careful when you're removing yours. You obviously don't want to end up like me and crack them. Outside of that, you can see the paint lays on pretty good, and once we get the headliner out, I'll show you my process when it comes to the painting. It's pretty standard. Just take your your time with it. So first thing is first, I have to remove this passenger seat in order to get the headliner out of this car. There's just not going to be enough room with the passenger seat in here. Hopefully I can do it with the driver's seat in there as well. If I have to remove it, I will. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and then we're going to work on the other pillars, and then we'll start working on the headliner. All right, so we are in, we're in the car, and headliners are never fun, you guys. It just takes a ton of patience and popping little clips and getting little screws out. It's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna work my way through all of these little things that need to come off. Probably gonna start with these pillars back here and then work my way up to the little accessory pieces that need to come off. All of these things need to come out in order for my headliner to come out. And we are painting everything. So all of this trim along here, the sunroof panel, this, it's going to be a lot of work, but we will get through it. right, so 3 cans in, and I think I'm gonna call it. I think I'm good with this. Completely covered, made sure I got everything underneath, so where everything tucks, you won't be able to see any gray. The trick here is that you want to do multiple coats from different angles to make sure, like you can see it's a little bit lighter right here. So we're gonna go back through and actually hit this one more time. Same deal over here, it's like a little bit lighter right there. So you just gotta make sure that you lay it on multiple layers at different angles so you can get all of like the little fibers and everything in there. One thing I might do is take a brush and go over it and just release any like little nibs and then hit it again, just to make sure that all of the little fibers, I think we could go in there a little bit, you know, a little bit more. So yeah, 3 cans in, probably gonna end up doing 1 more can just to make sure that I get everything that I want to get. But yeah, it looks legit. I mean, looks really good. Super happy with this. So this is the stuff I'm using, vinyl and fabric. I'll have it linked down below for you guys. Super happy with this. This is gonna look just fine in the interior. I think that this turned out way better than I expected it to. Look at how good that looks. It's got like an OEM matte finish to it. Really, really happy with the way that this turned out. So I literally hit everything. I got all the little airbag tags. I got the lights, the rear cover, the 2 little pieces on the B pillars with the little circles that go in them. I've got the 2 lighting and control units, all of the pillars. I mean, this turned out freaking amazing. So I already have the headliner in the car so far. I've decided that I'm going to be painting the sunroof cover while it's in the car. I know that sounds sketchy, but it's really not that bad. I'm gonna use that painter's masking plastic and basically just section everything off in this car but the sunroof. The nice part is it's a small flat piece, so it should be relatively easy. Much easier than trying to take it out of the top. I'm not gonna go through all that, but this already looks fucking insane. The one thing that I didn't want to paint are these. I'm actually just going to buy these, I think, in black. I just don't think paint is gonna hold up well on this. It's like a rubber. I don't know, maybe you could, but even with these, I feel like it would be kind of janky. So I might just buy the black ones for these. And then the handles, I'm actually gonna swap these out for the glasses compartment. So you can actually exchange these for these little compartments that go up there that fold down, and you can store your sunglasses in them, and they make them in black. So I'm just gonna buy 2 of those off of Amazon, and that will get rid of those, and then we're gonna be good, man. This whole thing will be blacked out. I'm gonna start putting all the trim pieces in, and yeah, let's just see what this thing looks like when it's done, man. I'm so excited. All right, so this is all we have left, and man, I gotta say, when I first started this whole thing, I did not have the highest hopes or expectations for this because it is just paint and more DIY, but I gotta say, this turned out 10 times better than I expected. I think the reason I like it so much is because everything is just brand new now. All my trim pieces, pillars, everything. So good. All the way down to the little plastic parts. It's just so good, man. The light covers, incredible. Super, super happy with this. My friends, that is a wrap. I just finished everything up. Very, very happy with the outcome of this project. I even replaced the little pin lock plastic pieces. They were super crusty before. But yo, this thing turned out so good. Kind of tough to show you guys out here with all the light and everything, but man, really happy with it. Everything for the most part just looked brand new. All black. Pillars, everything, man. Oh, I'm so happy with it. Turned out so good, you guys. If you are thinking about doing this, 10 out of 10, recommend. It's really not too difficult, just takes a bit of time. But yeah, man, this is the way to go. So I ended up finding a couple of sun visors in black, OEM, and they're used for $50 on eBay. So I spent about $100, a little over $100 on this entire project to black out everything, all the rest of the stuff in my interior, and it looks so good. It basically looks brand new. And a lot of the trim in this car was already sort of on its way out. Like, it just didn't look that good. Even in the gray, it was pretty beat up. This just completely refreshes it, brings it right back to life. I just love those types of projects where you're really not sure if it's gonna turn out good, and then in the end, it actually ends up turning out even better than you had expected. This is definitely one of those projects. I had been putting this off for so long because I just dreaded taking everything apart, but it's really not that hard. It just takes a little bit of time and some patience. Definitely a full day project, but in my opinion, the results speak for themselves. Like, this just looks so phenomenal. It's exactly how the car should have came from factory, in my opinion. The other thing that you're gonna want to pay attention to when you're installing all of this stuff back into the car is you're probably going to get like finger marks on it and whatnot. But what I did for that is I just used a little bit of the paint and put it onto a brush and just sort of dabbed anywhere that I saw that was losing a little bit of paint. One of the more popular questions when doing this sort of thing, people were asking if it changes like the texture of the fabric, and it most definitely does. You are painting onto fabric, so it's going to harden a little bit. The brush certainly helps with a little bit of that, but it is going to be more of a tougher, stiff fabric, but at the same time, like, how often are you touching your headliner or like your pillars, you know what I mean? So I really don't think that that will be an issue for me personally in the future. You are definitely gonna wanna leave your windows down in the garage for the next couple of days after you do this, and just let all of those like paint fumes get out of the car. It's been a little under a day since I did this project, and it no longer smells like paint in here. I left all the windows down last night. But yeah, you guys, if you're interested in doing this, like I said, man, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I'll leave the links to everything that I use down in the description. I've got some other really fun stuff coming for the 1 Series soon, so stay tuned. It's going to get good. But finally, I have a completely black on black 1 Series. I love it. This car looks like a Batmobile. It's definitely cool for this version of the car. I have another idea of some other wheels that I want to throw on this car in the future, but for now I think it looks really good. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. I will see you in the next one. Peace.